Hello everyone, I'm Tom G 800 and welcome to this program on the 60th anniversary of Omega's Speedmaster. No other wristwatch in history has been more intriguing to watch lovers than the first wristwatch to be worn on the moon during the 1969 moon landing. And while some people claim that Omega owes its entire current existence to the moon landings alone, nothing could be farther from the truth. This timepiece was a success from the very day it was released in 1957, and when it came in question as a candidate for space travel, it was only due to an already existing preeminence as a racing watch. Above all, the Moonwatch is not a moonwatch. The Moonwatch is foremost an iconic racing watch that gained extensive fame due to the very lack of a moonwatch. And when people wrongfully put too much emphasis in its history as a moonwatch, they forget that before it even came in question for space travel, it offered a unique, timeless design, being timeless as a leaf. It offered a complication that was very scarce of its time, if not non-existing, and took people's interest in wristwatches to a whole new level. Well, not that Omega really has been so successful with designing an equally successful and iconic successor. However, need I remind you that far up in the 1980s, police highway patrols would still use old-fashioned stopwatches when measuring speeding drivers. And now, this is 2017, the 60th anniversary of the Omega Speedmaster, which makes one wonder on how Omega is going to commemorate this event. A decade earlier, in 2007, Omega released its 50th anniversary model, the Speedmaster Broad Arrow 50th anniversary, that paid homage to the original broad arrow hands of the 1957 model. Now, besides a range of steel 50th anniversary models, Omega also launched 3 luxury versions of the broad arrow 50th anniversary. The 3 luxury versions comprised a two-tone steel watch in rose gold with a chocolate dial, a solid yellow gold watch with a white dial, and a rose gold version with a black dial. All 3 watches containing the Omega caliber 3313 movement with column wheel mechanism based on a PK 1185, the very same movement used in earlier Vacheron Constantin overseas chronographs. Not cam mechanism operated as that in the original 1967 model that was selected for the Apollo program. No, with column wheel mechanism. Now, look very carefully at this picture. This model gives you none other than the very peak of Omega, when Omega peaked as a watch manufacturer. From then on, it all went downhill for Omega. This is Omega before the then CEO Stephen Urquhart decided to flush Omega's entire integrity down the toilet and embark on yet another catastrophic course of watered down products, extensive pricing, bullshit marketing, and bulking 8,500 movements. Omega almost had it all. They really came close of being able to compete with Rolex in terms of innovative technology. They had just released the 2005 novelty Planet Ocean. They had become the James Bond ambassador. They had just introduced the 2009 liquid metal technology, they almost came in same place as Rolex, but at the most crucial moment, Stephen Urquhart ruined everything. Omega was given one shot, and one shot only, of being able to compete with Rolex. The only right thing to do was to make Omega a company that was able to offer its customers features being equal to those of Rolex, but at a lower price level. Instead, Stephen Urquhart did the exact opposite. He increased the price point of Omega products, deprived retailers of minor cities their Omega authorization, and failed catastrophically to make Omega introduce new features being equal to those of Rolex. Rolex remained king of watches, with watches of better power reserve, water resistance, and more timeless design. Omega did not succeed in becoming a new overpriced corporate brand in the way Stephen Urquhart had hoped for. Instead, he made Omega a new bullshit brand by offering the dark side of the moon, the white side of the moon, the grey side of the moon, the dusty side of the moon, the crazy side of the moon, and attending bullshit events with Chinese bullshit actors, and entirely watering down the complete integrity of an once renowned brand. So, now what's in store for Omega in 2017? Well, they certainly shouldn't be expecting us to be paying $7,000 for a new bullshit 60th anniversary model of the Speedmaster, especially when considering the dawdling that they have been too busy with in recent years. I personally think that they should have done long time ago was to produce a new Speedmaster model being able to compete with the 72 hours power reserve of the Rolex Daytona, while maintaining pricing at a more affordable level. Now that may have turned the table. Today, we can all rightfully conclude that the present day Omega management has no share whatsoever in the past glory of the Omega Speedmaster. Only the future will tell whether Omega management is fully worthy of lifting the legacy of this quintessential timepiece.